I'm Evelyn Curley. I'm from the Local Enterprise Office. Our banner's been here for the day. We're the first stop shop for businesses with 1 to 10 employees. And I was delighted to take Pauline's invitation to chair this afternoon Twin Track session in relation to how data can be useful in terms of business opportunities. And we're going to be hearing from various different speakers this afternoon, Edward McDonnell, and then Siobhan Finn, Professor Brian Donnell, Dr. Suzanne Little, and Jared Walker. So are all of you here? On show. Well, then we've got all the key people. So I said, since we're running a little bit late, and I'm sure you're all keen to get out for 5, we'll start straight off. Just to remind you again, sorry, the phone's back on silent. Tweet, if possible, with the Data Open Doors hashtag. And we're going to have 15 minutes of each speaker, or 10 to 15 minutes or so. And then if you can keep your questions till the end, I'll ask all the speakers to join us here on the panel, and then we'll wrap up from there. So first up, we have Dr. Edward McDonnell. He's the Centre Director for the Centre of Applied Data Analytics at CeADAR. So, off you go.
Thank you. The last talk, or series of talks that I sat through there, everyone was asked to give some key learnings actually from their experience. And so I have a key takeaway. I'll say all these slides are footnotes to what I have to say, so you can forget about the slides actually and just concentrate on this footnote that is both useful and decorative to you as well. So I'll hand these out, and you can take one of them. As I say, all the slides are. So what this is, this key takeaway, there's a little phone cleaner that sits on the tip of your phone. It's washable and replaceable. You can take it on, clean your phone. Actually, so all the greasy marks are off it, and you can put it back on your phone there again. So we are the Centre for Applied Data Analytics, and what I've been asked to speak about is the new paradigm, the new metaphor that we're using for catalysing research and enterprise collaboration in the data ecosystem. That's my unfortunate, very snappy title there for us. So we're funded by Enterprise Ireland and the IDA, and we're headquartered in UCD, and we've also got CeADAR in University College Cork and the Dublin Institute of Technology as well. We are actually, although we're headquartered ostensibly in UCD, in fact actually we're not based there, we're actually in a business park outside the campus, and that was deliberately done so as to emphasize to our business and enterprise partners that we're actually facing out towards business and not inwards towards the ivory tower. And that's a theme I want to develop, because our modus operandi is quite unique. It's very different, and I would say that we ourselves are part of a new experiment. But we're all part of a government strategy and initiative that was set off a few years ago, which is basically to raise the level of data analytics awareness in Ireland, to obviously better position Ireland within Europe and globally as well, not only to attract FDI, but for the benefit of the ecosystem of companies that we have here. So CeADAR stands for the Centre for Applied Data Analytics, and I'll just talk about these 5 particular areas. Thank you very much. So we are based on what's called a membership model. Now, we've only been in existence for less than a year now, and we've got more than 40 member companies. About 25% of them are the multinationals that you'd know, like Accenture, Deloitte, Johnson & Johnson, Omnicom Media, Dell, AIB, and the rest are SMEs. The majority of the companies are based in Ireland, some in the UK. But basically, we're what's called a market-focused innovation and technology centre. So we're focused on delivering value to enterprise. And again, I'll describe actually how we do that, because there's a slightly different model to that. Thank you. So traditionally, you have this continuum where you have universities on one side of the spectrum, and you have business on the other, And often you hear people talking about this gap in between the valley of death, because a lot of the great IP that's generated in the universities never manages to make it out for the benefit of industry. So we see ourselves as bridging the gap. In the Middle Ages, people used to talk about the Pope, the Pontifex Maximus, the great bridge between God and man. Although that sounds heretical, we like to think of ourselves in the same way, that we are the channel between great knowledge in the universities and bringing that out for the benefit of enterprise. So you've probably heard, if you're involved in Horizon 2020 work and even here with Enterprise Ireland, about the technology readiness levels. TRL levels are all the mot du jour at the moment. So you start off with a TRL1 level, which is what the universities are good at blue skies research, right down to a TRL9 level, which is what enterprise and industry is good at. So, for instance, you could, TRL1 might be you observe an effect at the bottom of a test tube. TRL9 is that you go to Centra on a Thursday night and you're able to buy a packet of 6 of them. So that's the difference. And we are sitting there between the two. We're leveraging the best of university IP, but we're actually delivering value to enterprise. So to reinforce our market credentials, we have a set of guidelines that we, as the centre, must operate within. So our agenda is actually set for us, and it makes sense, actually. It's within the 3 very well understood verticals of data analytics. You've got the visualization and analytic interfaces, the data management, which is like 80% of the effort in all analytics tasks, and the advanced analytics, which is all the algorithms and the implementations. So there are various areas within that we are defined by the board for us to work in, but we can't work outside that. So we're governed by an industry board, which is made up of representatives that are churned every 2 years from our membership. So they make sure that what we're working on is for the benefit of industry and not blue skies research. So there's 7 industry members and 3 professors, myself, on the board. So we're funded by EI and the IDA, so that cash flow that we get from them, this is how we apply it. And this is quite novel, we feel here, and we answer the needs of industry, both SME and multinationals. So we only work in applied R&D on only problems that are suggested to us by industry. So we can't work on our own ideas. All our staff are postdocs. We don't hire anyone less than that. And so we're not involved in any education programs. We don't have PhD programs. We don't have master's degree programs. So our focus is 100% on delivering value to industry. So we work on 20 and deliver 20 demonstrators a year. These are demonstrator projects that our industry partners take and actually can try out for free in their, on the premises for 6 months at no cost. So that's quite a rapid prototyping philosophy that we have to use actually to get 20 out. We do them in 2 6-month tranches of 10 projects each. And all these demonstrators, all this work is actually funded by our EI and IDA grants. So we don't actually go to industry and ask for money, but we deliver this technology to them for their benefit. And of course, for a company joining, there's lots of opportunity to try all the back catalogue of tools that we've developed, and we must now have about 40 tools sitting on the shelf for companies to try out, again, free of charge. So each project that we do delivers a state-of-the-art review, so everyone's on the same playing field on that, an agreed technical spec, the demonstrator, which is delivered, mandated to be delivered within 6 months. And we hope that matches the drumbeat of industry. The last thing that industry often wants to hear is, well, come back in 2 or 3 years and we might have something, or fund a PhD student for 4 years. And now that's fine in some cases where it is blue sky speculative research, but often what industry wants is something here and now. And so if we say we deliver this in less than 6 months, you're pushing against an open door on that one. We also work on what we call non-core funded work too. So that's contract research, contract consultancy, Horizon 2020, and the various financial instruments that are available from Enterprise Ireland. So we've got a very active ecosystem of our membership companies. As I say, we're rapidly moving towards 40, and we gathered these actually in the last 9 months. So we've got a lot of events that actually foster this sense of an ecosystem among the companies. And one of the things that we see as well with this fostering of the ecosystem is there's a lot of business done between the SMEs and the multinationals. So here's a wonderful platform for the small companies to get airtime with the big multinationals, and the multinationals to be able to pull in lots of great stuff from these little agile and disruptive SMEs. So all our companies have access to all these state-of-the-art analyses, the technical specs for projects, all the IP that we have. It's all open to our companies, and we offer free assistance with all these technology evaluations, which often means that we actually go and are implanted in companies' premises. Our website demonstrates under the Our Demos tab a selection of 20 of the type of projects or tools that we have available for immediate consumption by any member. So what I wanted to do very rapidly, and I know this is a bit of a quick run through, was to give you a few examples of the sort of stuff we do. I think I've chosen about 5, just to give you a sense of. One of the most popular tools that we've developed, and one that nearly every company that joins us wants to try out, is this customer exploration tool. So basically you throw this tool at a database of customers, and it can automatically generate groupings of customers and profiles and segments that you might not have initially imagined. The other advantages in terms of its visualization is that it will actually spit out a description in English of why it made particular groupings of individuals. So that's one type of work. That was suggested to us by a group of companies. We worked on it, and it's proved then very useful for not only them, but others as well. One of the things that we're receiving a lot of attention on over the last 6 months is real-time continuous analytics. So this is actually doing your analytics as the data is coming in. So a lot of data analytics is done as a batch process. For instance, maybe Tesco's collects all the data during the day, it's processed during the night, and a report is generated the next morning. But let's say if you're in financial services, if you want to detect fraud, you obviously don't want to hear about that a fraud was committed 24 hours ago. You want to know that the fraud is actually happening now. So real-time continuous analytics is exactly that. It demands huge processing of large data sets. So a lot of examples that we've done here with our member companies in the mobile telecom space, where in spam detection in networks in North America, fraudulent behavior for financial services as well. And also you can use this automatic clustering technique, which is one example of the continuous analytics for determining how people are using websites in real time. Just before I joined the centre, as I mentioned, I joined just about a year ago, there was a lot of interest in contact centre analytics, so we ran 4 demonstrator projects there, again suggested to us by member companies. This one takes that audio transcriptions of your calls to a contact centre. Inevitably, you phone up one of these contact centres and they say, your call will be monitored for training and quality assurance purposes. So that data is captured, but it's an raw audio file, and it's a very, very difficult thing to process and access. So what we've done with this is gone immediately to a text transcription and done a particular topic in data analytics called topic modeling. And then we've ended up drawing this so-called Sankey diagram, which again, visualization, a very big part of analytics, to help actually understand what topics are evolving in the contact center at any given time. So for instance, these bars could represent either hourly slots or weekly slots. And what you see is a conversation about maybe your bank card not working in Dunleary, or lots of them, evolving into something else, maybe bank cards not working in all of North Dublin. And so you can actually monitor the flows of what the conversations are that your contact center agents are having with your customers and clients on the phone. So in terms of monitoring contact centers, this is very important, and again, one of the top projects we have. Another one, and you'll be glad to know there's only, I think, 2 left. So this one on social identity resolution and validation. One of the challenges here is that multiple people may have multiple personas across many different networks. So this is a way of actually being able to, with permission, to be able to determine the one person that these multiple personas belong to. So often this is useful in fraud prevention. It has also been used actually for customer lead generation for companies who are looking to find the key influencers in a particular area. So, for instance, it could be an agri-food that interested to know who's talking in Europe about dairy processing. This is a way of being able to find that, and it actually has been used for that very case. And another one from the world of behavioral economics is nudge along. This is a way of actually determining the best way of reaching out to your client, your customer base. Some people respond better to maybe phone calls, some respond better to text, email messages, and the different incentives that you offer them, people respond better to those. Some might have a more ecological bent, some might be financially motivated, others it might be a gamification thing that you're better than your neighbours or worse than your neighbours in terms of energy usage, energy consumption. What Nudge Along does is that it brings in a new customer, an unknown customer, it clusters that person relative to a known set, and you know then how best to reach out to them, let's say by text, and give them a financial incentive. This other one, best phone call with an ecological incentive. So this is Nudge Along. And the final one is different modes of interaction with data analytics. Often we look at dashboards, and that's how the data is presented, obviously in a very visual way. For the busy sales executive out on the road, actually trying to, using a phone to view a very complex dashboard might not be the best way of doing it. So what we've developed, again suggested by our companies, is an audio interface. So you ask, what are the sales figures for apples in Southeast US over the last quarter? So the answer is spoken back, and you also get a text message. This one actually is going into production with one of our member companies. So final slide, because this has been a bit of a mad gallop through, I'm afraid. So in terms of delivering value from CeADAR out into industry, basically membership is the first stage, and the membership criteria are very low. It's a very frictionless on-ramp actually for companies to become members. So when a company comes in, they propose new projects, they partner on existing projects, they can evaluate all those 40 project demonstrators that I mentioned, or commission bespoke work and collaborate with us on the various Horizon 2020 projects. So as I mentioned, we're funded by Enterprise Ireland and the IDA basically to spread that expertise of data analytics out for the benefit of companies in Ireland and obviously to attract foreign direct investment. Our website link is there, and I'm Edward McDonnell. So thank you very much. Thank you.